Hey, what's up? This is Alex. This is Release History video series, and here we have a release 1.3, the desktop version. And since this was quite a big release, we're gonna start with some minor or general changes, and in the next videos I'm gonna talk about major features step by step. So the very first and minor change is the reset profile feature we have, and as you see I have my inventory opened. And the thing I edited was because I accidentally discovered that Android has some kind of auto backup feature turned on by default, so it backs up application data and stuff. And even though there are clear cache and clear data buttons in app management, it turned out that for some reason it can be restored after the app reinstall. So to keep this consistent between platforms, I added this small feature. So now you have this delete icon here, and what it does is just obviously deletes our inventory, our equipment, and our non-recipes. And once you press it, you can see that, okay, I will click, press cancel, and you could see that the QR code is going to change. Okay, so now it's changed, and if we take a look, the inventory is now empty. We had no equipment, but what's interesting is we still have a non-recipe for mana. And well, mana is a magic recipe in all senses and literally. Okay. And this is a part of new stuff I added in the 1.3 release, and we're going to talk about it later. And now the important thing to notice is you start the game already having this recipe, okay? And it's also worth mentioning that it is a little bit more expensive in terms of required resources. So as you can see, you have 2 fives required, while the old or the classic or the attribute gems recipes have maximum number or digit as 4. Okay, so it's also guaranteed now that it costs you from 1 to 2 max digits, so you cannot have like 8 fives here, for example. Okay. Well, yeah, and the reason there is a kind of 4 max digit for attribute gems and 5 for the mana is because in March, as you could see in the previous video, I tried adding more spell gems and it cost more, but for now it's removed or hidden. Okay, so let's move on to the main screen. And as I also said in the previous video, the thing I liked a lot about the old UI was an option to spectate other users. So in this release I was able to quickly add a simple implementation of that feature because obviously there was some backend code for that. And when we are online, and in the desktop version of the game we are always online, and we have this little popover with users that are online on our server. Okay, and so in case we're able to spectate, you can press this button. Sure, we need to be online, and well, while we have the desktop version we are obviously always online, but for the mobile versions it's not always the same. And in case somebody is playing a local game, of course you will not be able to spectate it, so only online games are supported. So let's maybe assume that somebody is, like, for example, user 20, right? Is playing some game, okay? Maybe, okay, it is playing. And what we're gonna see is, well, exactly the interface the user sees, right? So let us, I don't know, complete this board probably. Okay. Sure, we cannot, press open any cells. no matter do we have this alt hover mode active or not. Doesn't make any difference. And what else? As you can see, I'm kind of now also in the game. That means if somebody spectates on me, he joins exactly the same game. And of course, if the player that is actively playing this game, if he quits, then of course I am also moved to the start screen. Okay, so since in this mode we have added some new modes, like for example the RPG flavor for PvP mode, you can see that there are still tabs for solo or cooperative or versus modes, but by pressing any of those buttons, there is a new create party dialog displayed. And the reason behind this is actually now we have pretty many combinations here. So as you can see, you have an online-offline switch, an RPG or classic mode flavor, and modes and the board size. And for example, if we have a desktop, we have all the possible features, all the possible combinations here. I need to clarify probably or possibly that the mode icons stand for solo for person, handshake for cooperative, and scissors for PvP. And the reason I have scissors here is because obviously for an enterprise framework there is not that much RPG related icons available. So this guy here was the nearest or the closest stuff I was able to find that would resemble something, representing confrontation or attack or something. And actually, if you turn on, your imagination a little bit, this stuff looks like a crossed sword. Probably you can see that. Anyway, we will see this guy somewhere later in the other parts of UI. Okay, so again, for the desktop we have all this stuff, right? And sure, we can have an online game or offline game, and that would mean we can only play solo on any size of boards. We can also play a classic or RPG mode in solo. And of course, if we want to play cooperative or PvP flavors, we need to be online. And again, here we can have both classic or RPG mode, and here we have the board size. You can see that the maximum players buttons, or I don't know, the toggle buttons, change their act enabled state or active state. So that means that on a big board we can have up to 4 players. For the medium board we can have up to 3, and for a small board we just can have up to 2 players. Okay, so again, in the co-op mode, as in release 1.2, you fight against the boss. Okay, and in the oh, by the way, this stuff I forgot to remove, right? Because in 1.2 there was no RPG flavor for RPG mode, which is, I believe, a bug, right? I need to fix it, probably. But if you turn on the RPG mode for the RPG flavor for the PvP mode, you fight against each other. So that means that after the board phase, solving the board phase, you have the battle phase, which looks like the new battle UI for the cooperative mode. So we now have it the same, and I will not show it in this video because it now looks completely different, and we'll start in the next video exactly with this RPG flavor and PvP mode. So, well, maybe let's start a classic cooperative, I don't know, medium board party for 2 players, and we can see that it shows up here, and the party I create is highlighted with red. That means I can dismiss it. Okay, and if that's not me who created the party, then in case this is a cooperative party, it's highlighted in yellow. While if it's RPG mode, okay, again co-op RPG, it's highlighted in yellow. But in case it is non-RPG mode, be it a versus, like for example, I can show it. I can start the versus. Okay, it's again yellow, and if I delete it, non-RPG is green. Okay. So let's probably try starting the cooperative non-RPG flavor. Okay, and let's see what happens, because obviously the board solving phase is almost the same, and the reason the difference is what happens if you open the bomb. Okay, if you hit the bomb. And well, let's start. Let's join the party and start the game. Okay, and we see that something is going on. Probably the other guy does something as well, right? And you can see that the moment anybody hits the bomb, the game is reset. Okay, and you start over instantly. So there is no lives. There is no such thing. You just, meditate and probably solve some boards. Well, let's try to actually accomplish this. Okay. And okay, I went to the top here, and I think I'm going to solve it here. Once again, probably it's worth mentioning that we have this guy here. It's for the desktop mode. It's how I call it, Alt Hover, because it uses the Alt key, because on both Mac and Windows keyboards the Alt key is the same. So if you enable this guy here, you open the cell every time you hover over it. Okay, and to prevent the cell from being opened, you hold the Alt key. Okay, so now we kind of probably open the board. Okay, and it took us 70 seconds, which is not that good result, but you could also see the friendship is magic message. Let us probably do this once again, and so that we could see what that means. Okay. No, we're not going to do this. Okay, what that means actually is for cooperative mode, as you can remember, we have cleared our inventory by pressing the reset profile button here, right? But we have some stuff, and that means that after completing the cooperative non-RPG flavor mode, we still have some loot. Okay, so let's probably see what happens in the non-RPG flavor for PvP mode. Okay, so in this case you can see that the board is opened, and the reason behind this is the aim of this mode is to score more points by opening the board. And as you can see now, the behavior also is different. When I hit the bomb, I cannot open any other cells because I have a penalty. Okay, so it not only freezes me, but also gives me -8 points. Okay, so probably we will open this. So yeah, it can end up having a negative amount of points, of course. Yeah, but in this mode, only the winner takes the loot. Okay, so we could see that, I don't know, we probably have lost. I think so. And let's, I don't know, maybe complete another one. Yeah, so this guy hit the bomb and another one. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's time for us to a okay, probably I have some kind of bug here, I don't know. This is interesting. Ah, okay, it's not a bug. Yeah, I forgot. Another magic stuff. Also, actually, you can not only use the Alt key, but you can double click. Yeah, I always forgot about that stuff. I added it as an experiment, but also did not remove it. So the idea behind this was to allow you, to play on desktop without pressing any keys, and you can double click anywhere, double click again, and there you go. I didn't like it a lot, but yeah, it's a good thing. We noticed it. Okay, so the classic mode, which we have seen now. Yeah, by the way, you can see that there is just an X button to close the game, and in case anybody leaves the game, it's ended, and we go to the start screen. And as I said, the classic mode was created like a long time ago, right? And it was meant just to just chill while playing with other players. And the only thing I changed about it is I added this loot stuff. Yeah, so probably here we have some more, yeah, because we have won the game in PvP as well. Okay, in the next video I'm gonna show the RPG flavor PvP mode because there is some real stuff, real time asynchronous stuff that would be better started with in the PvP mode. So thanks for watching and stay tuned.